Alright, let's dive on in. Yeah, probably silly face. I don't care. Sorry, everybody. It's been a couple of days. It's been wild. I have had so much on my plate, and I got some notes ready to go for us on today's verses. So, I hope you all are ready to dive in. My life has just been so hectic. I've been trying to get a couple of different things done, doing some stuff for the LLC, getting the website a little bit more taken care of, going to try to streamline a few products. Got the articles of organization printed out, just going over that, readjusting a few prices for the ADV, and just overall updating things. But let's go ahead and dive on in. We've got The Art of War, Chapter 5, verses 5 through, and I didn't write down a final one. I don't think I quite made it, but we're going to go through 9. Yeah. I'm going to go through 5 through 9. Just because we left off on 4, I suppose. Alright. Sorry. Chapter 5. In all fighting, the direct method may be used for joining battle, but indirect methods will be needed in order to secure victory. Verse 6. Indirect tactics, efficiently applied, are inexhaustible as heaven and earth, unending as the flow of rivers and streams. Like the sun and moon, they end but to begin anew. Like the 4 seasons, they pass away to return once more. Verse 7. There are not more than 5 musical notes, yet the combinations of these 5 give rise to more melodies than can ever be heard. Verse 8. There are not more than 5 primary colors, blue, yellow, red, white, and black, yet in combination they produce more hues than can ever be seen. Verse 9. There are not more than 5 cardinal tastes, sour, acrid, salt, sweet, and bitter, yet combinations of them yield more flavors than can ever be tested. I hope that's where I left off in my notes. Let's go ahead and read 5 through 9, even though it's already the 12th. Wow. There's 23. Maybe we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and read 5 through 9 in our little pocket book here, and see what that gets us. Yeah, so we left off at the one about the eggs being thrown onto stones. So let's just double check here in our master book. Okay. Yeah. In battle, confrontation is done directly. Victory is gained by surprise. In response to verse 5. Cao says, direct confrontation is facing opponents head on. Surprise forces attack unexpectedly from the sides. Basically flanking. I mean, surprise the enemy and, don't let them see you coming. Direct confrontation is maybe the honorable way to go, but if you refer back to the last video, the revolutionaries never would have won the war had they adhered to orthodox methods. Master Sun. Therefore, those skilled at the unorthodox are infinite as heaven and earth, inexhaustible as the great rivers. When they come to an end, they begin again. Like the days and months, they die and are reborn like the 4 seasons. So Li Quan says, heaven and earth mean movement and stillness. Rivers represent a ceaseless flux. The changes on unorthodox surprise movements are like the ceaseless changes of the weather cycle. Zhang Yu says, sun and moon travel through the sky. They set and rise again. The four seasons succeed one another, flourishing and then fading again. This is a metaphor for the interchange of surprise, unorthodox movements, and orthodox direct confrontation, mixing together into a whole, ending and beginning infinitely. I don't have the slightest... I do. Basically, indirect tactics, when they're efficiently applied, are inexhaustible as heaven and earth. So, as long as you're thinking outside the box, like the sun rises every morning, as long as you stay, on top of it, what was it that I was, innovative. As long as you stay innovative and your marketing teams are on top of things, then you're going to be okay. I mean, how many times have we seen a lesser product beat the better product because there was more efficient marketing? It necessarily didn't have the best innovation, but it had better marketing. Alright, Master Sun. There are only 5 notes in the musical scale, but their variations are so many that they cannot all be heard. There are only 5 basic colors, but their variations are so many that they cannot all be seen. There are only 5 basic flavors, but their variations are so many that they cannot all be tasted. They combine the next ones. Number 10. There are only 2 kinds of charge in battle, the unorthodox surprise attack and the orthodox direct attack, but variations of the unorthodox and the orthodox are endless. The unorthodox and the orthodox give rise to each other like a beginningless cycle. Who could exhaust them? So this brings us to verses 10 and 11. So in our master book, verse 10 says, in battle, there are not more than 2 methods of attack, the direct and the indirect. Yet these 2 in combination give rise to an endless series of maneuvers. The direct and indirect lead onto each other in turn. It is like moving in a cycle. You never come to an end. Who can exhaust the possibilities of their combination? Wei Liaozi says, the comprehensiveness of adaptive movement is limitless. Wang Qi says, opponents cannot exhaust you. And I think that those are 2 very succinct responses into several that have been kind of tied together. But it's true, really, if you think about especially what we looked at in the last couple of chapters. If you think and refer back to the last video, if you're unconventional, right, there are many colors, tastes, music notes, all of which create infinite possibilities. So too should we approach problems with this outlook. There is no most of life people are given 2 choices, and they think that there's only 2 outcomes, 2 possibilities, 2 ways to approach. It's either this way or this way. But people don't ever take into account, and as I've said before, from Tim Ferriss and the 4-Hour Work Week, I love his change the way that you approach things. It's not either or, it can be both and so these verses basically say you don't have to choose unorthodox or orthodox. You don't have to choose the traditional or an untraditional route. You can have both and you can win. You don't have to follow a set stratagem because that is how tradition dictates that you should do it. And so that's one of the great things about democracy is, yes, there are rules of the game, essentially, but if you're innovating, then the possibilities are limitless, as they should be, because if you can create something better than an opponent, then yes, like, you need to be rewarded for that. And even then, we see that even the most innovative product isn't always the one that wins. And so that almost goes back to, it's the army that attacks from the side that wins. It's the company that, you know, doesn't take things head on, but they wait and they, you know, they innovate from the earliest release kind of situation. So as long as you're thinking outside the box and you're trying to innovate and you're trying to better yourself at all times, then I don't think you have too terribly much to worry about. The opponent cannot exhaust you. Just don't get in your own way. Don't exhaust yourself. That's one of the other things. But if you're able to adapt, then you're like all the music notes, all the flavors, all the colors. You know, there's limitless possibilities. So yeah, I think that's a good place to stop. Next, we're going to move to verses 12 and see where that gets us. I'll be doing some reading on it tomorrow. And then we'll see what we can do to get through 23. Hopefully things go well, though. I hope you guys like this. As always, make sure to like the video, click that subscribe button so you can get some notifications in the future about when I do release these. And if you stumble upon these, even if it's into the future, let me know in the comments below if you took away anything from it, if you like what I'm trying to do here. I've noticed that with some of the recent changes that I've made in my life, it's a little harder to keep it up, because I'm doing some things that just take away a little bit of my energy. But if you guys are liking it and commenting and showing support, then it'll give me a reinvigoration at the end of a day to come home and do this. You know, I upload this at the end of my workday. But if it was going really well and you guys do end up enjoying it and supporting me, then I would love to find a way to keep doing it. So anyway, check out the description below if you want a link to The Art of War. This one I got off of Amazon. This one I bought at Barnes & Noble. I do really like the pocketbook version, but I like this one mainly for the rawness of it. You know, it has, if you can see, just the Sun Tzu translation. But if you look at the pocketbook version, you can see that it has interpretations. When I say, you know, Du Yu, Jialin, Li Quan, or Cao Cao, or Du Mu, or Qin Hao, that's other military strategists' interpretations of the art of war. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah. Sorry, I was just reading this little disclaimer. Anyway, see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.